All. This is Dr. Mobeen Sayed. Welcome to one more show. So the discussion today is a brief discussion about a case where Supreme Court has rejected an appeal for a case that was where an employee of AstraZeneca was looking for vaccine exemption on religious basis. AstraZeneca had fired that employee. The employee then wanted to have unemployment benefits, and the unemployment uh, law judge interviewed the employee and decided that she did not have sincerely held belief that the vaccine does not or her religion does not agree with the vaccine. So based on that, the unemployment law judge rejected her case, and then it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has rejected it as well. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I cannot provide a legal analysis. However, being a doctor or a layperson from legal point of view, even when I read the dialogue between Tina Good and the judge, it seems that she was all over the place. So let's look at this case. And sorry for such an early discussion. This is 7:30 a.m. Pacific time in Cupertino, California. All right, so let's start. So first of all, as is mandatory, this is drbeen.com, and you can get access to hundreds and hundreds of lectures. Plus, you can earn CMEs by going to drbeen.com. And if you are not a medical professional or just a medical student or nursing student, you can actually go to drbeen.com/med-nerd and get access only for $5 a month. But if you are a healthcare professional who want to have CMEs or want to have more thorough discussions, then for CMEs, $35 per month or $300 per year, or for kind of 2 years access without CMEs, $97. So whichever benefits you, but there are hundreds of new lectures, and I do one webinar every Tuesday, and then we upload a new video every Wednesday as well. So with this, let's look at the reporting. So this is Washington Times. Supreme Court rejects fired AstraZeneca employees' appeal over refusal to take COVID-19 shots. So before we actually look at these, I want to have you read Tina Good's dialogue with the unemployment law judge. So once again, the background is that she was an employee of AstraZeneca who refused to take the vaccine. Her job role was such that she had to go meet clients about the vaccine, and she needed to be, and those clients were, let's say, hospitals and clinics. And so it was mandatory at that time to be vaccinated to visit these facilities. So she refused to have the vaccine. Because of that, she could not go into those facilities. She asked for a religious exemption. That was not allowed. She got fired. Then she asked for the unemployment benefits, and these were also not given because it seems like her exemption request was not sincerely held religious belief. So this is the background. So let's see the dialogue between her and the unemployment law judge, or ULJ. So this is the caselaw.findlaw.com, and I want to read a few parts from here. So from here. So it says, at one point during the hearing, the ULJ, the unemployment law judge, asked whether Good would ever be willing to take a COVID-19 vaccine if it was developed without the use of fetal cell in any way. Good answered no and stated, I don't take vaccinations. The ULJ reminded her that she has received the tetanus vaccination and asked, why would a COVID-19 vaccine never be okay to take regardless of its development? Good responded, because the vaccine doesn't work. She continued, the vaccine has killed more people than it's saving, and I haven't had the vaccination, and I had COVID once. more people that have been vaccinated have gotten COVID multiple times. It doesn't work. What's the point? And she said, if I was on my deathbed, I wouldn't take it because it doesn't work. The following colloquy between the ULJ and Good then ensued. I want to make one point over here. As much as I did not feel, and I think the courts reached the same point, that it didn't look like a sincerely held religious belief. But there is an important point to note here, and that is she had COVID once. So if somebody had COVID and had recovered, why to push them to go get the vaccine as well? But anyways, some other countries in the world had allowed a an infection to be a proof of immunity as well, or proof of somebody who could handle it. However, in the US, we didn't have those exceptions. So here are some of the question answers. Question: so it sounds like you would never take the COVID-19 vaccine regardless of development because you don't feel it's necessary. Is that correct? Answer: I won't take any vaccine if I don't need it. It's called natural immunity. So again, make sure that the intent for the judge is to figure out, is this a sincerely held religious belief? And look at the dialogues here. Question: sure, but am I understanding your testimony correctly that you would never take any COVID-19 vaccine regardless of the development of it? Answer: if I have a reason to, but no, there is no reason. Question: if COVID-19 would likely kill you, would you take one of the COVID-19 vaccines if it was effective? Answer: no, because it hasn't killed me. Question: sure, but that's, I think, the thing I'm trying to understand better, and maybe logic is off, Miss Good, but it sounds like your pulmonary embolism hasn't killed you yet either, correct? And so apparently she had pulmonary embolism. Answer: that's completely different. Completely different. Question: well, it's something, but that's what I want to understand better. If you won't take something because it hasn't killed you yet, you are taking something even though something hasn't killed you yet. So explain the difference so I can understand. Answer: so my pulmonary embolism is completely different. Taking the COVID vaccine is supposed to help and prevent from you getting the COVID sickness, and this, my pulmonary embolism, is something that I will have. They are two separate things altogether completely, so I need to be on Eliquis unless I want to have another pulmonary embolism and perhaps die. I'm not going to die because of COVID-19. The vaccine doesn't work. Question: sure, but if the vaccine worked, would you take it? Answer: no. Question: and why not? Because COVID is the flu. It's just like the flu. So her lawyer did say that the judge asked kind of gotcha questions to kind of have her walk into this situation, and then ended up denying. So following the hearing, the ULJ decided the Good was not eligible for unemployment benefits on the ground of employment misconduct because she failed to comply with AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccination policy. The ULJ found that Good does not have a sincerely held religious belief that prevents her from receiving a COVID-19 vaccine. The ULJ explained, Good testimony, when viewed as a whole, shows by a preponderance of the evidence that Good's concern about some vaccine and that she is deciding to take them because she does not trust them, not because of her religious belief. The ULJ further stated that when looking at the totality of the circumstances, Good's belief that COVID-19 vaccines are not okay to put in her body is a personal belief, not rooted in religion. Good sought reconsideration, and the ULJ upheld the decision that Good was not eligible for an unemployment benefits. So this is the unemployment hearing. From there, the case just kept going to the Supreme Court. And finally, at the Supreme Court rejected an appeal from a former AstraZeneca Pharmaceuticals employee fired in 2022 for not taking the COVID-19 shot, which she declined on religious grounds. So you have seen the rest of the story before, so I'm not going to read that again for you. A lawyer for AstraZeneca waived the opportunity to file a brief in the dispute, reasoning Ms. Good's case waited on the state's denial of her unemployment benefits, leaving the issue between those parties. So AstraZeneca did not jump in; it just became a case between the state and the Tina Good. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, a Democrat, filed a response on behalf of the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, urging the court to reject the case. He said, state law denied unemployment benefits to anyone who was fired for employment misconduct. Ms. Good vaguely suggests that a shift towards court over scrutinizing religious belief is trending, he wrote in his brief. So this was one reporting. This is the other one. This is USA Today. Supreme Court on Monday rejected the appeal of a Minnesota woman who said she was wrongly denied unemployment benefits after being fired for refusing to be vaccinated for COVID-19 because of her religious beliefs. So what do you think? Again, I'm not a lawyer, so I cannot look at this from a legal point of view. When I look at those question answers, they do seem like kind of questions where she just walked into a situation where she ended up mixing up her maybe articulation that, hey, this is a religious belief, to mix that up with some other opinions as well. The case shows that the vaccine debate continues to smolder after the pandemic and after the Supreme Court in 2022 halted enforcement of a Biden administration vaccine or testing mandate. Remember, even that mandate was going into effect, which was stopped. However, for a large employer, but declined to hear a challenge to the administration's COVID-19 vaccine mandate for healthcare facilities that received federal funding. So this is the basic reporting. It is interesting case for me. And also remember, within AstraZeneca, there had been other employees who had gotten religious belief exemption. This was an interesting case where Good was not able to. Good's lawyer, if I read out here, Good's lawyer said her case presented a question that will reoccur: how to analyze a religious objection to an employer policy when those objections coincide with secular beliefs as well. So the lawyer said she has non-religious or secular beliefs as well. For example, the vaccine doesn't work, or I already had the infection, why do I need the vaccine, etc. And she has a religious belief as well. So how would you separate these two? So that is what her lawyer said. He also said, Good's attorney said, the judge had interrogated her religious beliefs with unfair gotcha questioning. He couched his denial of benefits in Ms. Good's credibility and then discounted her religious beliefs by determining that her secular beliefs outweighed them, the lawyer told the Supreme Court. So this is the discussion. Thank you very much for joining me such early in the day. I would probably come back again with some more topics today. I'm just trying to make up for my 1 month long absence that I was traveling internationally. Once again, please like, subscribe, and share. And go to drbeen.com/med/nerd and get your access. Or if you wanted to have CMEs, those are available as well. We are ACCME approved. So with this, thank you very much, and I'll see you again. Bye for now.